You must be thinking about moving to Riverside, Missouri. Well, you've come to the right place because I've put together a map video to give you a bird's eye perspective, take you all over Riverside and show you everything you need to know, all the little spots and hot spots and places that you need to know about Riverside and what makes it an amazing place to live. Hi, I'm Max Jones. I'm with the Mojo Real Estate team, and my partner Zach and I have been in business for over 20 years, helping buyers and sellers just like you move to and from the Kansas City area and the Riverside area. And we're fortunate to help about 250 families per year, and we have over 600 Google reviews online. So don't take my word for it. Hop on Google and do your research, your due diligence, so to speak, and see what our clients have to say about us. We love doing what we do. And with that being said, let's dig into the details. But before we do, if you hang around to the end, I'm gonna reveal my number one thing about Riverside, so stick around to the end. All right, so let's dig into the map video here. I've got the map pulled up, and in this red outline, you can see here, following my cursor, is the city limits of Riverside. And before we really dig into the details of Riverside and within Riverside, I'm going to zoom out just a little bit and show you where Riverside sits in Kansas City to give you a little context about where it is we're exactly talking about. So as we zoom out, you can see here the Kansas City Metro North area is this big tan area. This is everything that's been developed. And Riverside is right here, really nice and centrally located in the Northland. So we've gone over some of this in our other map videos, but the Missouri River comes down here, and everything north of the river we consider the Northland. And then right as it gets about in the middle of the state, it creates the border between Kansas and Missouri. But right in the middle of the city, rather, if you go straight down, you can kind of see this hash mark. That's the state line, and it goes straight down and divides Kansas City in half on the south side. So Riverside is up north, and which is really nice because it is located in a very convenient area right next to, probably 5 minutes up the highway to the Kansas City International Airport. So if you travel for work, it makes it an amazing place to live. You can just shoot right up north. And then, maybe you travel for work, but your office is downtown. You can that's a hop, skip, and a jump right down 169 highway to downtown Kansas City. Or even if you live in Riverside or want to live in Riverside and travel for work and work in Overland Park, then, your office is in Overland Park, hopping on 635 and shooting down here, and you can be in Overland Park within just, 15 minutes. So, very convenient location as far as Riverside goes. So let's zoom in, and I'll give you the major highways for Riverside. So one of the major highways that comes down here is I-29. It comes from the airport and goes all the way up to Omaha and beyond. And right is just on the north side of Riverside, it splits into 635, which goes right through Riverside and crosses 9 Highway and goes down south to Overland Park, like we said. Or I-29 will continue on and go downtown over the Missouri River over here. But as we zoom in, you can see that the 635 being the major highway that runs through Riverside. Another pretty substantial highway is 9 Highway, which is right here along my cursor. And that runs through Riverside and goes down into Northtown and ends up going over the river into downtown, right by Garozzo's, a very good restaurant downtown. And it also goes over to Parkville. So if you cruise along 9 Highway, you'll go into English Landing Park, which is a fantastic park right along the river and the railroad. And downtown Parkville is right here, which is a really nice area. So very convenient located if you want to cruise over to Parkville, or if you want to head over into Northtown for some nightlife. Riverside is situated right between them, and really a nice location. So we'll zoom in a little more and I'll show you one of the main roads in Riverside is Vivian Road. It's labeled here as 69 Highway, but it comes over, goes through Gladstone and comes over into Riverside, and then comes down Vivian Road, comes down through here and ties into 9 Highway right here. So those are pretty much the major intersections through Riverside, and I'll zoom out a little bit and show you some of the locations. We've got a sister video to this one, a couple of them actually. We've got a vlog video where I take you to 3 different homes in Riverside to give you an idea at 3 different price ranges, what you get from, what kind of bang for your buck you get in Riverside. And we've also got a pros and cons video where we discuss kind of the good, the bad, the ugly of Riverside. So make sure you check those out if you're really looking at Riverside as an option or want to know more about it. You ought to check out those videos. But in the vlog video, I first take you to Bella Ridge, which is a really nice maintenance provided community, and it looks like it's technically just on the outside of the Riverside city limit line, but it has a Riverside address, I believe, and it's right here in this little area right in here, Linden Lane, right here, and it is a sister community to Montebella, which is right here. And I'll click on the layers, so with the satellite view you can probably get a little better idea of what the heck we're looking at here. But Bella Ridge is a maintenance provided community right in this area here with a bunch of reverse ranches, 3-car, typically 3 to 4 bedroom right in here, and really nice community if maintenance provided is what you're looking for, to have the snow done and the lawns mowed and that sort of thing. We take you through Bella Ridge and have a little drive-through and highlight one of the homes in there that's for sale. And then Montebella is another Barth community that is single-family homes, not maintenance provided, and is right here off of this Northwood Road here, and is just down the street from Park Hill High School. Park Hill South has their campus here, which is just a state-of-the-art, I think it's 20 years old now, but was built with state-of-the-art at its time, and really one of the best schools in the Kansas City Metro. So I will zoom back out and show you, and you can kind of see something that we highlight in the pros and cons video as we look at Riverside. Is like, oh wow, that's a lot of industrial, and that is certainly true about Riverside. I believe it's 5.4 square miles and only a population of 4,000 people, because there's not a lot of single-family homes in Riverside. Really, typically, what you've got is a little bit of lower-end housing and then quite a bit of upper bracket price point housing. So you've got some lower price homes over in here. Then you've got some Indian Hills, which is some older homes up here on the hill, and then you've got the Palisades right here. So I drive up into Indian Hills and show you a property not too far up the hill. I thought it was further up, but it ended up being right here and backing to the Palisades. But as you come up on this hill, there's some properties in the, I'd say, upper 2s, low 3s price range in here, maybe mid 3s now. And then you've got a bunch of homes here that are being developed also by the Barths, and called the Palisades. And what's cool about these is they have fantastic views. It's hard to tell from here, but all of these homes here and then these homes here are kind of terraced up, and these homes here, they kind of stair step up in elevation. And what they do is they back to a fantastic view of the downtown Kansas City skyline, which is right here. So you kind of overlook all of this river bottom, low-lying areas, and then you've got just a vista type view of the downtown Kansas City skyline. So it is, that's one of the, the marketable facts about the Palisades. If not the biggest yards, but probably the best views in the Kansas City area. And you get a little bit of that over here in Montebella also. And then you also get some of that in the Park Hill School District, or the Park Hill South High School. So yeah, it's hard to tell just from a bird's eye view, but essentially all of this industrial area down here is in the river, kind of in the floodplain, really. Back in 1993, there was a flood, and it flooded much of this area down here. And since then, the Corps of Engineers has come in and put in a levee system, and we haven't had any problems since, knock on wood. But if there was ever any flooding problems, it may affect some of the businesses down here. But the housing, the single-family homes, are up on this hill and kind of a bluff, and you should never have any problems up there. If we do, then we've got more problems than just at that, just at your house, because those are 100 feet above the river level. So with that being said, check out the vlog video and go look at the three homes that I highlighted on the vlog video. I think you'll enjoy that. And what I would like to show you next is some of the parks. And usually I'll highlight the golf courses as well, but there aren't really any golf courses in Riverside to speak of. In Parkville, you've got the Deuce, the National, and then up here you've got Tiffany Greens and Staley Farms Golf Course, and then you've got Hodge Park over here. So really encircling the Northland, you've got golf courses. There is a new golf course. Right now it's a 9-hole, but I've heard they're trying to acquire enough land to make it an 18-hole, is the Athletic and Golf Club at Maple Creek, which used to be just a little 9-hole golf course that I golfed when I was a kid, and with a putt-putt golf. But now it's got a whole community center and fitness gym and all kinds of stuff going on there. So that's a new thing, but still not really in Riverside, which is down here. Not a lot of golf options. If that's important to you to live close to or on golf, then Riverside's probably not for you. But I will put the parks in, and you can see there are just a couple parks. You've got this E.H. Young Riverfront Park, which is developed by Argosy Casino, I believe. When they built the casino, that was kind of part of the deal, was that they developed this park along the riverfront, and they've got pickleball courts, baseball, an off-leash dog park, amphitheater. Let me click on the satellite view so you can see what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's just a really nice park right along the riverfront, and I believe it ties into the Line Creek Trails, which is an awesome thing about Riverside and the Northland in general, is Line Creek Trail. Oh, yep, here it is. You can see this green line comes down right along Line Creek, and you can tie into this park. But the Line Creek Trail will go all the way up into Riverside to this park, Renner Park, and then I believe you might have to go on the road a little bit, but it goes over to Homestead Park right here, and then the Line Creek Trail goes all the way up, and I'll zoom out so I can show you. It goes all the way up into Frank Vidic Park, and then there's the Line Creek Community Center, and it goes all the way up here. I mean, it is just into Plattbrook North. I used to live over here in this subdivision, and my kids and I would ride our bikes on the trail all the time. But it goes all the way up to Berry Road. I believe it will stretch out and go along 152 to Zona Rosa. Yeah, it goes up along here over to Zona Rosa. And then I believe there are plans for it to tie into Platte Purchase Park and even go all the way up to Smithville Lake, which is clear up here. So, the Smithville Lake has bike trails all around the lake. It's a Corps of Engineers lake, and so there's no houses right on the lake. but it has bike trails all around the lake that are just awesome. Kind of digressing a little bit away from Riverside, so I'll get back on task and show you some of the major attractions and entertainment in Riverside. So right here is Argosy Casino. They have not only, a casino, but tons of restaurants and, nightlife type of things to do. So it's not just the casino, but it used to be that this was actually one of the first, I think the first casino in Kansas City back when it used to have to be a riverboat. So the casino would be out here on the river, and I think when they first did it, it actually had to be an operational boat. So it was a paddle boat, and we'd go out on the river and turn around and then come back. And then they made it to where you could just dock the boat here in a channel, and then and now I think it doesn't even matter if it's a boat or not. But the Argosy Casino is one of Kansas City's first original casinos, and a great place for nightlife if that's your sort of thing. And then as far as other nightlife, one thing I like to point out, I always like to think of Briarcliff as being part of Riverside. I mean, it's sandwiched here between 169 Highway and the Riverside city limits. And so I think technically it's Kansas City, Missouri, but really it feels like Riverside to me, and on the west side anyway. And Briarcliff West has tons of really, here I'll switch to the satellite video, or satellite view, but they have tons of $1 million price point homes up here. Just really, really nice houses. I think Travis Kelce might have a home up in here, and maybe Mahomes. It was developed by Garney back in the day, so yeah, it has some trails. Here's a Garney Park and Trails, but the Garney home, I believe, was right here and ended up burning down, this has just an amazing view of the Kansas City skylines. And then you can see all of this action right here, which is one of my favorite places to go for lunch. The title company we work with is right down here in this area, close to Riverside. Accurate Title, shout out to them. They are, big support to us and help make us look good to our clients. So can't thank them enough. But when we go to the title company, a lot of times we will go up to Tres Mare for lunch or happy hour, and then Piropos for dinner is an amazing place to grab a steak. There's also several other places in here. I think there's a really nice, the Briarcliff Barrio is a Mexican place, and then there's some spas and a coffee shop and all kinds of things going on in Briarcliff Village as far as entertainment and restaurants and that sort of thing. So next on my list are major employers, and there are a boatload of employers with all of this industrial area in Riverside. Really, you're looking at electrical companies, heating and air, auto parts manufacturing, industrial supply, rail companies, because they're right along the railroad and the rail line. There's an Amazon distribution center here. I don't think it's a mega distribution center, but one of their warehouses for Amazon. But you can just see all the different companies, Complete Home Concepts. These are chock full of warehouses, for industrial type employers. As you zoom in, you can see that there's just tons of, in this Platte Valley Drive, there's tons of offices and shops down here. Not shops really, but warehouses where people operate their businesses out of. And then it's a little sneak peek on one of my favorite places that we'll revisit if you stick around to the end, which I promised. I'm going to show you my favorite thing about Riverside is down in this industrial area. But one thing that people really want to know is like, Max, that's all good, but where do I buy my groceries? So that is another thing that is awesome about Riverside is right down here off of this Platte Drive, and just at the foot of the Palisades is the Riverside Red X. And the Red X has been around forever. Family-owned place that has always been known for their discount smokes and liquor and booze. Well, liquor is booze. Liquor, smokes, and wine. So what we'll do is if we have a client appreciation party, a lot of times we're going to Red X to buy cases of wine, or if we want to buy a keg. They just have great deals down at the Riverside Red X. And they recently built they had an old building, I think it might have tore down. I think it was over here. And they built a brand new Riverside Red X. And so they've got groceries, and it's got all the conveniences of a modern grocery store, but it also has some of the history of being a great place to find discount liquor and wine and smokes. And I do not condone smoking. I think it's not good for you, but if you do smoke, then this is a great place to go and get them cheaper than you can find anywhere else. Oh, another place to shop, and this is one of the places that my wife has me go every spring, is right down here by Red X. Larry's Nursery. I thought it was close. This is the old Red X, that's why I was thinking it. And then this is the new one over here. But the Larry's Nursery, it's a small little place, but if you're like me and you're married and your wife likes flowers for Mother's Day, then Larry's Nursery is a great place to go and get your flowers. There's the Jockey Club bar. It's been around forever. I guess Riverside was originally a place where there was a racetrack for dogs and horses and then cars. And Pendergrast was a big boss in Riverside, or in Kansas City, and I think that he was the kind of the kingpin leader of the racetrack. And so they still have this Jockey Club bar that's been around forever. There's also the community center, which I believe is right here. They have a fantastic community center. This is kind of the city hall and downtown area of Riverside, where you have all the city services. One thing that's definitely worth pointing out about Riverside is that Riverside does not charge a city tax on your personal property and real estate, which is really nice. That's kind of, they've put a flag in the ground, and that's something that they're very proud about doing. And one reason that people like to operate and live in Riverside is from a tax perspective, especially with Kansas City charging the 1% earnings tax. You can avoid all of that in Riverside. There's an LC's Hamburgers spot here. LC's is one of the best little local burger joints in Kansas City. River Roll Skate Center. This is a place I used to go as a kid for middle school. You'd go in and have a skate party, and everybody go down to the River Roll. But anyway, there are so many places. Edge Gymnastics is a fantastic place. A lot of kids will go there for gymnastics classes. There are so many places to point out, but the video is getting kind of long here, so I'll wrap it up here pretty quick. I've already shown you the Park Hill South High School campus. Is just phenomenal. I mean, for sports, it's one of the best in town, and academically, it's really good. A+ ratings on everything. And yeah, so that kind of gives you an overview of Riverside and what it has to offer. Just kind of give you some perspective, some context on where it is in the city and what's in Riverside. But this is not a comprehensive video. I could go on for hours about all the different places in Riverside, and that, this is just supposed to be a taste of Riverside. And if you have specific questions to Riverside, and just put a message in the comments, we will definitely get back to you. Or if you live in Riverside and you think that we missed something that should have been on there, then let us know. And I almost forgot. I promised you my number one thing about Riverside, and I mention it in my other videos too, but I'll take you in here. It's down in this industrial park, and if you zoom in, it's ADA fundraising and auction, and it doesn't look like much here and it's not really. I mean, it's not that big of a place. It's a small little place, but what they do is why I like them. The ADA, they do signings for a lot of the sports teams in Kansas City. So Sporting KC for soccer, and the Royals for baseball, and my beloved Kansas City Chiefs for football. They will do signings for a lot of the players. And then what they do is they're very good about, if you have a fundraiser, they'll have a minimum price, and anything, say you have a silent auction, they'll give you a bunch of their stuff for your auction, and anything that it goes over that minimum, then the charity gets to keep, and you just pay for the minimum. And they're just great to work with, very good people. They've helped us out on some of the fundraisers that we've done for our clients, and for some of the things that we've done in the past. They've been very charitable. I know a lot of people around town that do charity work have great things to say about ADA, so I definitely wanted to give them a shout out. They also open up their doors to the public for, I believe it's 1 week a year. I think it's 1 week a year every summer. And it's great because they will, basically you can go in there and buy things at that wholesale price rather than retail prices. So it's a hot spot when they open up for that week to the public. But otherwise, they're only open by appointment only, and it's all for, it's a sports memorabilia store for fundraising and for charities. So I wanted to highlight the ADA. But with that being said, I've taken up almost 30 minutes of your time. Thank you so much for sticking around. We really appreciate you. Definitely hit the bell, the like button, and subscribe, and all that good stuff if you want to be notified about our future videos. We make these videos to just be a resource for you. We want to provide content that is valuable and that people want to know about. So, yep, that's all I've got for you. Thank you so much for being here and listening. We can go on and on about Riverside, Missouri. Until then, we'll see you in the next one.